Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take sources, research, notes, and boil it all down to the key insights. Think of it as your fast track to, well, really understanding what's going on. Today we're diving into something truly fascinating. It's part of our special series, AI 10X. That's the series exploring the future of artificial intelligence. And it's brought to you by 10 Leaves. This deep dive, it's all about AI and genomic medicine. We're talking about a field it's fundamentally changing how we think about health. From decoding our DNA super fast to predicting diseases way before symptoms show up, it's a huge shift in detection, in treatment, and I'm really keen to unpack it all. Joining me is an expert who's been right at the intersection of AI and medical science for years. Couldn't ask for a better guide, really. So, yeah, let's unpack this. Okay, so genomic science, it's had some massive breakthroughs over the years, obviously, but looking at it right now, what's a real step change we're seeing with AI coming to the picture? What makes this moment different?
That's a great question. And it really hits the nail on the head about why AI is such a big deal here. The main shift. It's basically about scale and precision, like on a level we just haven't seen before. Think about it, one single human genome. That's over 3 billion base pairs. Trying to analyze that amount of data manually, especially at the speed needed for clinical use, it's impossible for humans. It's kind of like trying to find one specific tiny grain of sand, but you have to look on every single beach all at once.
Right.
And that's where AI, particularly deep learning, which is, really good at spotting complex patterns and huge data sets, that's where it makes a massive difference. It lets us find connections, insights in our genetic code that were basically invisible before. We're talking about identifying really subtle mutations that cause disease, things easily missed, or finding complex genetic risks for common stuff like heart disease that are tangled up in our DNA in ways we couldn't untangle by hand.
So AI isn't just helping, it's enabling a whole new level of analysis.
Exactly. It's accelerating discoveries, it's making diagnostics much better, and it's paving the way for treatments that are way more personalized than we ever thought possible. And the speed, what took months for one genome, AI can now process for thousands in hours. It sees patterns no human could.
Wow, that really puts the scale into perspective. It's definitely not just a small step up. Okay, so if AI is already doing this, where are we actually seeing it in action? Can you give us some concrete examples? Where is it making a difference right now?
Absolutely. One of the areas with the most immediate impact probably is cancer genomics. It's really promising. So when someone gets a cancer diagnosis, AI can analyze the specific DNA of that tumor. And it's not just looking for one obvious mutation, it's looking at the whole complex picture of genetic changes. And based on that really detailed analysis, oncologists can match the patient with treatments that are most likely to actually work for their specific tumor profile, their unique mutations.
Oh, so moving away from this sort of blanket approach.
Precisely. That's the core of precision oncology. Instead of, say, a really harsh chemotherapy that hits everything, we're moving to therapies that are incredibly targeted. It avoids that one-size-fits-all model, which, means treatments can be more effective, often with fewer side effects. It's truly individualizing care. That was pretty much science fiction not that long ago.
That is incredibly powerful, directly tailoring treatment like that.
Mm-hmm.
What about beyond cancer? Are there other conditions where AI is proving to be, well, a game changer?
Oh, definitely. Another really critical area is diagnosing rare diseases. Historically, many rare genetic conditions can take years to diagnose, sometimes even longer. Families often talk about this diagnostic odyssey, going from doctor to doctor, test after test. It's incredibly stressful and often without getting clear answers for a long time.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So AI models now. They can sift through huge amounts of genomic data incredibly quickly. They help flag potential genetic disorders much earlier. This could be in newborns or even before birth, spotting subtle clues in the data that a human might just miss because there's so much information. And this can drastically shorten that long, painful diagnostic journey, which is it's massive for families. Getting a diagnosis sooner means getting the right support or treatment sooner. It can really change outcomes, quality of life.
That's huge. Just reducing that uncertainty must be an immense relief. And the cancer treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sounds like we're getting smarter and much more targeted in how we deal with illness. But thinking bigger picture, what about predicting disease before it happens? Is AI helping us peer into our health future?
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, this might be one of the most transformative uses of AI here. It's pushing us beyond just reacting to illness towards truly proactive health. We're talking about techniques like polygenic risk scoring.
Polygenic risk scoring.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that work?
Well, it's quite fascinating, actually. Instead of looking for one single faulty gene, which is pretty rare for common diseases anyway, AI looks at many, many small genetic variations right across your whole genome. It then calculates the combined effect of all these tiny differences. And from that, it can estimate your likelihood, your predisposition, to developing certain conditions later on. Think things like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, maybe even some mental health conditions.
So it's looking at the whole genetic landscape, not just 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
That does sound forward-looking. What's the real point of knowing that risk years ahead, though?
Well, the big idea here, the really profound implication, is that it's not just about detecting things early, it's about prevention. Imagine a healthcare system that's truly proactive, where if we know someone has a higher genetic risk for, say, heart disease, we can intervene much earlier with specific lifestyle advice, maybe dietary changes, or just more focused monitoring, all before they get sick. Instead of waiting for the heart attack to happen, you identify the risk decades earlier, and you work to lower that risk. That's the kind of future AI is helping build in genomic medicine, a system focused on keeping people well, not just treating them when they're ill.
Moving from reaction to proaction.
Mm-hmm.
That really does shift the whole philosophy of healthcare, doesn't it? Feels like a massive leap. But, okay, with all this amazing potential, every big technology shift brings challenges, complexities. What are the main hurdles we need to figure out here?
You're absolutely right. It's not all smooth sailing.
Yeah.
There are some pretty significant challenges we need to be really mindful of. First off, there's a major issue with data diversity. Most of the big genomic databases we use to train these AI models, they're heavily, heavily skewed towards people of European ancestry.
Right, I've heard about that.
Yeah, and the consequence is that the AI's predictive accuracy can really drop off for underrepresented groups, which could lead to serious health disparities, less effective diagnoses, maybe the wrong treatment suggestions. It's a huge problem we need to address.
Definitely. What else?
Second, there's the challenge of explainability or transparency. A lot of these advanced AI models, especially deep learning ones, they can operate a bit like a black box. We put data in, we get an answer out, maybe a diagnosis or a risk score, but it's often really hard to see why the AI reached that conclusion, what steps it took.
And in medicine, you need to know why.
Exactly. Clinicians need to trust the recommendation. Patients need to understand it. You need accountability. So this lack of transparency is a big hurdle. Researchers are working hard on making AI more interpretable, but it's still a work in progress. And then, maybe the most critical one, data privacy. Genomic data is, well, it's incredibly personal. It's not just about your health now, it's about your future risks, your predispositions. It even holds clues about your family members.
Yeah, highly sensitive.
Extremely. So making sure this data is handled securely, ethically, with really strong consent frameworks, that's absolutely paramount. We have to safeguard this information rigorously.
Those are definitely major considerations. Technology has to move forward responsibly, ethically. It's a complex picture.
Yeah.
So if we try and look past those challenges, looking ahead, what does the next phase really look like? What can we expect, say, in the next 5-10 years?
The future vision is, well, it's genuinely exciting. I really think genomic sequencing, getting your whole genome mapped out, will eventually just become a routine part of healthcare.
By getting a blood test.
Yeah, almost that common, that accessible. And crucially, AI will be the engine interpreting all that data, basically in real time. Imagine it flagging potential risks automatically, suggesting personalized preventative steps based on your unique genetics, guiding treatment decisions immediately if something does come up, all tailored specifically to you. And beyond that, we're seeing really exciting strides in drug development, too. AI is dramatically changing how we find new medicines. It's helping scientists identify potential drug targets much, much faster, speeding up that whole discovery process, especially for diseases with clear genetic links. This could bring new treatments for conditions that right now have very few options. It's a genuine paradigm shift in pharma R&D.
This really does feel like a revolution unfolding. Not just in treating disease, but in how we understand health, how we manage it proactively. It's an exciting, maybe slightly daunting future AI is shaping.
Absolutely. We are genuinely moving towards a world where healthcare isn't just about waiting until you get sick. It's about using the power locked inside your own genome, interpreted by sophisticated AI, to actively stay well throughout your life.
And that wraps up another Deep Dive for AI 10X, the series powered by 10 Leaves. We're here exploring how artificial intelligence is reshaping industries, our lives, and, well, the future itself. If you found this conversation useful or interesting, definitely follow us and maybe share it with others who are curious about where healthcare is heading. We've got more AI 10X deep dives planned. We'll be looking at digital health, AI in finance, and digging into those critical ethical questions around AI too. Until then, this is AI 10X demystifying tomorrow's tech, today.